All right. Let's get to it for a Monday. Thanks, everybody. A lot to get into. Already a very busy day, weekend, week. Let's get on it. Yeah, all right. Let me kick that off. And obvious, let's start really quick with crypto. Let's not spend too much time other than this. This is the big chart, the total crypto market cap. This was posted 3 days ago on Twitter. It was a type. It's not. It's still a type 1 on the daily for a deep crab off the top. And this is what's starting this. So we knew that the Bitcoin at the 886 and at 886. So just a quick shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on? A couple comments already. Mitch is live. He's live right now. Okay, that's fun. Oh, he should be live right now. Everybody should be live right now. That's great. You guys could put Mitch on one side and put me on the other. Westy World, you finally got the volume 3. Awesome. That's great news. Okay. Quick update on books, folks. All right, so some people still did not get books from a while back, and a few are now getting them. Europe, Australia, I mean, it's been almost 2 months. I'm not surprised. And then there was a batch that went out that to people that were missed or didn't receive, so we took care of everybody there. Just give it another week. I guarantee you, if it doesn't show up like first week of March, contact me. There was some issues. Great. But welcome to everybody, and thanks. And yes, crypto, Bitcoin, look at that move. at the 886 of the 886. So a lot here today. The markets are all over the place, right? Absolutely showing us a lot here. We've got great, I'll tell you this, what happened over the last 48 hours, 72 hours since Thursday, super constructive behavior. And I have my colors up today for Ukraine. I would take the over. I take Ukraine against Russia with the points. It's a terrible joke, but you know what? I'm really sick of it. I think the best way economically, folks, is the only way we can win, economically. Economics hit everybody. So, I think we're going to have to stay in like a hyper focused environment. There's going to be a lot of change that comes out of this entire time frame. Think about what was going on before we came in here. Inflation, interest rates, Bitcoin getting hit, crypto getting hit, markets getting hit. Now, major geopolitical event in a way that we haven't seen hit the markets. But we do have a number of patterns that are linking up. Again, I said that last week. We want to stick with pattern structures. For Bitcoin, all right, we knew the crab pattern. We had several things here last week, 36,000, 35,000. I mean, it scraped and still does scrape the edge. But 36,000 is it for the whole long-term scenario. Take a look at the weekly chart, what this looks like. Weekly or even monthly. New month starting tomorrow. And you're getting really nice uptrend behavior. Okay, blue is bullish, yellow is bearish. Really glad about that. Really glad that you told me about finally got that book. As many books did not make it. It's crazy. Anyway, folks, listen. This is the weekly Ukrainian layout for BTC. And we want to see this continuation. And we do have several things here that are interesting on the weekly. Amplified RSI registered a few weeks ago. We started looking, and we've been looking at the 886, fearing that a breakdown under that 886 was dangerous. But this is the big deal with your weekly time frame. And amplified RSI is going to give you the start of a nice W formation in the indicator, where I would look at a minimum 50 retest. Nerdherd says my book never made it. Nerdherd, you got to contact me. Definitely contact me. If you didn't get a book, I mean, most people did get the book. Some people didn't on that first run. Trying to respond to the chat as I go. But look for this construction, folks, on BTC. And I really feel like you see this in a spot where we want to look for this to get above the 50 level. And at a minimum, it's more constructive than last May because you got an officially oversold test. But here's the other thing. We have the same type of W construction last summer. And once we broke out of that BAM formation on the indicator reading, which goes from the middle, there you got continuation. That's the major structural event for amplified RSI that needs to happen. And last time that happened was right here. Okay, so for a while, folks, I've been saying a couple things about Bitcoin. One, it's about the alts. And we want Bitcoin to go sideways to up and speculate on altcoins. And I think that's true for things like Luna, Solana, some of the other ones. But now we have signals where Bitcoin could get some juice. And you want to see that pop out of this hole and continue above on a daily level, that 45, 600 level. Why? Because then it starts the whole W structural thing all over again. Then you get this minimum ABCD mechanics of some kind of 50%, 618 run where you can pop. You could really pop out of this hole. Finally, first time. I still want to be aware of things like, daily time frames. Take a look at what's going on here. We had a prior bullish pattern, the bat pattern we discussed last week. We showed all these back-to-back formations, and then this bearish butterfly. Where does it trigger? This is the really interesting thing about the setup with Bitcoin currently, is that finally I've been saying look for a retest to the right of the downtrend, and then we will develop the stabilization, the confirmation you want to see. And I think this is the first time you got it. That's why Mitch is streaming. He knows how important this is. He knows this is incredibly important. Okay, David V. You guys, please, guys, send me. There's 2 people that did not receive books. Please email me, and let's get that taken care of. We'll do a book giveaway probably next month. We'll be doing a couple of events, but we'll do a giveaway again, March Madness, in a few weeks. Folks, where can Bitcoin go within this entire context is, again, I think just supportive for the crypto market in general. You want the bleeding to stop first, right? I think everybody wants to see this decline come to an end no matter what, and then start to make way, make progress. The weekly chart is, everybody's going to start doing this, folks. Get prepared. Everyone's going to say, well, that's the uptrend. That's it. And of course, we just came back. And so then we're going to go in here. And that very well could happen. You could end up with a successive retest of 113s. Come up and then do another 113. And then this could be, someone said this, could this be a reciprocal ABCD? Reciprocal ABCD, a little bit different than the regular ABCD. This ABCD is more in a channel measurement, like A to B there. C to D is at a 113. And remarkably, this 886 retest, I think that's the other clue everyone's really impressed by, that the 33,000 was such a perfect 886 retest and so tight off of that. If we can hold that low and come off of here, well, you are then looking at something that's definitely holding for now and good for the next few months. You have work to do, no doubt. I'm not saying there. In fact, I'm going to go through a couple of other charts that I think are a lot better. Really quick, let's. So for Bitcoin, just be aware. This could get you up to, like I said in my tweet. Here was my tweet just a couple days ago, where BTC back to 41K off of this crab pattern, which you're there, maybe as high as 42,791. Another 1,800 points within the 4-hour chart. But I'm still favoring the altcoins and the massive patterns like XRP. I really think this is a place to be where, if we're looking for patterns as signals. Okay, where'd that weekly go? Oh, I know where it is. It's the next one. We want to see the weekly time frames. I want to go off those charts Let me remove all the drawings. Go off those larger levels. Where is that? Hold on 1 second. Where's the weekly XRP chart? Well, there's the Gartley. Again, this came back to 70 last week. And let me just go to the tweet I put up. Because back at here it is. 3 days ago. Okay. Right back at this massive Gartley. Folks, this is a setup where a larger move can ensue. If you're looking for a longer term swing trade, which is all hodling really is, it comes off of here. It comes off of patterns like this. And I still think target 2 up at 137.9 is our measured level that we want to look at. But if you're looking for something that could come out of this hole and moon, that's one of them. Here's a couple more. Go to your daily chart and let's go to things like, hold on 1 second. Where was it? Bat action. Here, basic attention token. Okay. Super type 2 on the crab. I've been talking about this one for a while. There's a few things around 75 down to 65. There was this hop at 55. It came close, but it was, the general 65 to 75 area. This massive crab pattern, XA level at 69.60. But the big thing is that you did the type 1 reaction and then came back down, full type 2 reversal. There is your confirmation. That just came in and rechecked yesterday. So massive daily pattern, type 2 retest. Anything under 70 for me is a go for this, off of this pattern where again you're up assessing a target 2 move. This is where altcoins run. Let crypto market cap break out. Let Bitcoin break out, or at least grind higher, stop going lower, and then you'll see massive movement in the smaller altcoins. Quick look, someone's asking for algo. Exactly. Algo's another one. Came off this major pattern. I think algo was a weekly or daily. Just this big 886 swing on algo. But I was thinking actually this, not algo. I was looking at Atom, Cosmos. Here you go. I like algo at the 886, but Cosmos has a beautiful daily pattern, automatically generated. All the way down here at the XA, 2294, folks, is beautiful. Absolutely, really nice. And this one, we know it's been super strong. Wouldn't surprise me to get a retest to the all-time highs off of a pattern like this. Go to the longer term data feed. Here you go. You see where it's been. And a lot of these stronger cryptos are holding up against support, prior all-time highs. Pretty clear ranges where your next target, if we can bounce, go into a bounce phase, and where are we going to finish up the month? Next month, we're going to recover, after some severe losses? I think so. The thing is oversold. You're at the point on a lot of these levels that is saying patterns, retests, confirmation, you're all there. type 2 on the others. Let me see that. Total crypto market cap on the others. That would be total 3. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Nice, Ziggy. Thank you. So the comment was, look at the deep crab on the total crypto market cap others, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it is a perfect type 2. It's a deep crab off the top. It's look, it's one that the software is picking up. I'm not going to say that you would spot this out and be able to draw it manually by hand, but I will. Let me outline why this is such a critical level, and you do see it responding. There's no doubt that these levels are holding, responding. We want to focus on them. It's more about the true harmonic than the total high to low range, because this mathematically, I know it's tough to see visually, but mathematically this lines up to give us the deep crab. Also, we have the ABCD, the extended ABCD character in here at the XA. We don't show it. Everything is implied in the XA measurement, but it's one of the filters we use. Not to mention, that calculated 1618 for the other crypto market cap was at 656 billion. And look how it responded. We got perfect confirmation at the low. We come back, we hit target 1. And look at what happens with target 1 at 80 billion, or sorry, 804 billion. We hit that exactly and get rejected. Come back down and retest the 1618 primary harmonic level again with confirmation. So this is a good one to look at. We've been talking about this one and DeFi. This is critical, and you do want to be looking for it the next 24, 48 hours. You want to see total crypto market cap. If it's others or any of them, you need to see expansion now. You have confirmation. You have this retest back into the zone. You will not come to the hop level because confirmation is at 660. Really important. And this is where the larger expected moves come. Off target 1 for the type 2 return. Come back down. There's your low. But here's XA. XA is at 660. The low that was made was 580 billion. But the full retest, perfect. I mean, by definition. So we look for target 2 on those moves. That's the rule. That's how we treat the framework. If we were here the first time, we go for target 1. We're retesting the second time, we go for target 2. Up to crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, up to $929 billion. Off of this low, of course, it's going to take time. Lay out your 30 days, which is perfect because where are we going to be a month from now? Closing the quarter, closing the month, closing the week. 30 days from now, folks. It's like that. March 30, within that window, is a hell of a move. Maybe it takes a little bit more time, especially because we're seeing a lot of cycles. We're seeing a lot of 30-day minimum cycles. And this is just starting its 30-day cycle. Seemingly, the 21st is an inflection so many times. And, now we're the 28th. Maybe this is something where we go and we rally up into make another inflection at another equinox, the March 21st spring equinox, something like that. I don't want to go astro on you guys. Oddly enough, a lot of people have been noting the full moon. I've been noting equinoxes, summer, fall, winter, major inflection points. This is sold out, washed out. You only need another bar or two until this thing starts recouping major market cap. Good one. I appreciate it. Let's go to a couple more. Folks, Luna. 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 I still think this has got a ways to go. Mentioned this last week and it's exploding. We were talking about this around 50 bucks. Now you're already at target 2 off that beautiful daily Gartley. Beautiful. That was one of the big patterns off the new updates that we have. So let me segue really quick. Everyone, get with harmonicpatterncollection.com, please, because we have the new update for the TradingView program. It's an updated algorithm, harmonic pattern algorithm. We're getting more patterns. They were still, before we were getting great patterns. We're not missing as many. And this alignment in Luna is showing it. This could really take off above 82 bucks, folks. There's nothing stopping this. I would be surprised to see this come back for a type 2 because of the expansion we're seeing already. Look, we turned right back up on Luna in major fashion. Go look at what we were talking about just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Really felt like this was one of the patterns. There's several of these that are coming back. Here's one. Remember this high flyer, LRC? From a harmonic pattern perspective, folks, this is where we want to get them. I always say to everyone, go get them. That means you, on your own, figure it out, and you go get them. You take your tools, you learn, you use your smart brains, you use your physical body, and you go apply yourself at the proper spots. This is the proper spot for LRC, not up here when it's mooning. And we talked about this, not chasing it. We actually been really down on LRC because of this thrust behavior, rollover, just kind of full 886, full retest. Well, not only do we have a perfect bat pattern, but we're back here with confirmation on the daily, in development, clear development. That's a beautiful setup. This has got even the check out what we did in the zone here. Perfect terminal bar at the 886. Off of that prior low from October, massive blast up, come all the way back for a full reset. 886 at 77 cents. Now we did a reaction, really common. Reaction off of the low, you always see that, folks. That's not the, that happens. You can catch those, but the retest secondary levels is where your larger move always sits. LRC now confirmed. And look, the arrow registered. You check back 2 bars later. Not going any lower. You don't need to spend too many days here. 77 currently. But this is the thing I'm talking about with all crypto. You're breaking out of the downtrend. You're stabilizing, looking left to the trend. Okay, that's if you're there underneath your trend line, sure. There's a lot of work to do. But here, 5, 6, 7 days later, we're getting a nice 3-bar stabilization and about to break out. If we can get above 82, 60, 70, looking good. These are major opportunities in crypto that we haven't seen since September or maybe even last June. Really important to be aware of it. A week ago, we were catching a falling knife. Now, let's start to focus on these breakouts. 1 or 2 more. Solana. Or here's Sand. Sand is another one. You want into the metaverse? Get in now. Beautiful alternate bat, folks, at a type 2. This is part of the framework that is so powerful once you understand the natural kind of order of how the reaction, the return, and then the reversal unfold. This one, the fact that not only it generated perfect algo bat at the 886, it reacted in ideal fashion to target 1, rejects right back down, and then we go back to the XA at 278. Sand isn't too much off of that low, so this thing is in position. Again, because of the retest and the fact that we hit target 1 right here, and it just perfectly. That's a daily chart, folks. Hit target 1 perfectly, come all the way back down. The sand is now set up for target 2, 622. We have to stick to the metrics. We have to wait for the patterns. They're there. Now they're presenting the opportunity, not only the patterns, and we talked about that last week, but now you get the confirmation elements after the fact. And I've always said that the best opportunities come after the fact on patterns. You complete. You can do a reaction. You go through a consolidation phase. Well, folks, we're type 2ing with confirmation on a lot of these, which is the spot I'd always be looking for. This is, the dream scenario for crypto. Instead of forget chasing, now we're there. Here's Solana. Had several bat patterns. It was tracing out. I think the big one's down at 88 bucks. Pretty clear. We're only 95. Again, the deal with Solana is taking out the downtrend, getting to the right of the downtrend, and it's just starting to do it now. One or two more. Get these on your radar. If you're going through Harmonic Pattern Collection, please review the trading view. If you're not with Harmonic Pattern Collection, go to harmonicpatterncollection.com, or simply go to harmonictrader.com. Go to the basic members, please. And all of the instructions on how to get access to the trials are there. And then sign up for the crypto. I did want to point out really quick, the new pattern algorithms that we've distilled down to HPC combo, regular, large, small, that makes it better performance. And also, I know for a lot of people, subscribing to the TradingView platform above and beyond can be a pain, but their basic program, which I think is like 15 bucks a month, has great data and allows you up to 6 or 7 indicators. So I think that's probably one of the best charting solutions, period. And all the crypto's free. So check that out. Oh, you're right. Okay, here's the risk disclaimer. Take care of the business. This is not financial advice. This is educational, entertainment. I hope you find educational. And again, I think right now we're looking at a lot of situations where real patterns, real confirmation, real breakouts are starting to finally emerge. Let's get over to the markets. You wanted to look at Aave really quick. There was 2-3 requests for Aave. Here's Aave, and I think they're all the same. The ones that really were beaten up, take a look at them in relative to how far have they retraced on their all-time scale. Probably the first question within this correction to look for all of these. Have they done a full reset? Have you come back and retested everything of the last cycle of 886s? Or do you have some kind of M formation with Aave? Not really. It's not, this one's not nearly as nice as some of those others, but we can look at the all-time retracements and just go high to low. Again, this one not even quite 786 land for Aave, folks, but more just plant the 886. That's around 65. I know that sounds crazy. You're trading 135. Maybe that wouldn't sound crazy a week ago. But Aave still needs to simply get out of the constraints of the downtrend. We could draw that two ways. You could go there, or even this immediate downtrend. So that one has not made nearly as much progress as some of the other ones. Really quick, Cardano is something to look at only because of the daily bat pattern that we discussed. Check this out. It was generated. It's a fairly ugly scenario, but the hop level at 72.67, depending on your feed, it was tested. Some came just shy. I do think it's not nearly as nice as some of the other ones again, and I still want to see Cardano break out of the downtrend. It's threatening, but get a little bit more to the right. Let Bitcoin run for 2 or 3 days and these catch up. But there's a pattern there for sure. Okay, you guys have me on locked on crypto. I'll do Link. Link has had another pattern on the daily. There you go. Down it. Check this out. Link had a crab pattern. I do remember this. And it's now confirming these colors might be terrible on the screen. I don't really like what I'm seeing here. Let me go to a slightly different layout. I don't like this. The colors are not good. All right, this might be a little bit better. All right, here's the link. Let's go back to the daily. And it also had another pattern, which is, I think, really good. It was not too long ago that I was saying I really wish we would get more patterns like we saw in Bitcoin and Ethereum before their big run, and we didn't have them. Here is the, let me just show this, change the colors on the trading view program. Yeah, I can see that the background drop's just not really popping. The blue and green looks really cool on my screen, but it's not transmitting well. I can make this a little bit brighter. Anyway, we have patterns. We want to see patterns no matter what. It's just a fact. Are we chasing a market, or are we responding off of some kind of structural level with confirmation? Here's Chainlink. It did a type 1 move up to there, almost to target 2 at 38. Comes all the way back. Remember, XA levels 1550. You're trading 1450, so you're underneath that XA level. That's good. With confirmation. Now, will we break out? Because you're at the support. Remember, 1550. I want to see some breakout of that downtrend. This last failed. You almost did it here on your first test of 1550, and then just you went sideways. This is a good one because the type 2 retest can take multiple times. You absolutely want to focus on where it hits. There's XA level. That prior XA on Link was 1573. So as soon as that hits that area, there's the prior XA. We are focused like a laser. Tell me what's happening there. Any confirmation, stabilization? Well, you do. On the daily, Link has a beautiful RSI band, bullish. And it's shaping up where your green line just went off. That's where we start looking to the right of that for stabilization, reversal, kind of complex W formation, which we have. We actually got it last week, but now you get above the 50 level on Link, probably for the first time in a long time, Link is at levels that you want to be, should be doing stuff. Really should be popping off of that low, out of that hole. And target one at 29.60 is nothing. And I think that's how you frame this out. How much do you want to risk at that level where you are? Pretty much just underneath the lows, because you're scraping under XA now, but you have confirmation. We get Bitcoin and the rest of them to keep moving. Link's going to easily play catch up. That's a good one. Thank you, Miss Stephanie, posting with the Discord. Folks, go to the basic members page over on harmonictrader.com. Get with, one of the things I want everyone to know is not only the TradingView platform, but also run MetaTrader or run the eSignal, or NinjaTrader's got a nice complement of crypto, and so does Sierra Charts. I'll go to the eSignal platform in a moment. That's a downloadable application, kind of looks like this with the screener and everything. I'll bring that up in a moment. But a lot of people that are finding the MetaTrader, MetaTrader 5 actually is probably the best version for crypto, has the widest number of crypto brokers available. That's probably what you want to do, and run this program. Really, together, you've got all the tools you need. So the other thing with the new crypto HPC combo is we have the screener chart, which is running a lot better. And you go to your invite only scripts, add the watch list, and then go to the bottom. This will generate here. There it is. Actually, let me show you my screener platform. Here's the screener. So I run multiple screens on a separate platform. That's not it. Hold on. Let me show you this. Screener on TradingView has actually all of the same functionality, I feel, as eSignal. And it's with the new Crypto 5, the PineScript 5, it's running almost as good. I think eSignal still is a bit better. I'm going to pop this up in a second, but there you go. But here's our scanner, where you just add that into the window. I've created a separate window where I run charts on one screen and the scanner on another. And you can go through and you're seeing all of the big patterns that are popping up. One of the things that's interesting, the daily scans usually aren't going to be generating too many patterns, because they're just simply, the structures are taking a long time to form. But you're seeing more recently, and things like the link, the bat on link, or even the 4-hour pattern. I think you're seeing a lot of matches. There's a lot of things have been a lot of patterns lately working out quite well on these daily time frames, I think, of what we've seen over the last few weeks. Bring this back up. I'm going to go back to combo. Take a look at that. Also, here's the screener for eSignal. Looks like this. Where'd that go? Hold on. Where's that tool? There you go. So this is the eSignal main platform, and then we have our software built in. Just to show everyone, people ask me, what's the difference all the time? You have more bells and whistles on the eSignal main executable analytical platform. A lot of the things TradingView does, I think TradingView modeled it off of their tools actually, because they're really similar. But a lot here, a lot of the also professional stuff, like you can do the watch list. And let me open up one watch list here. Hold on. I don't know if I got it on this computer. Let me come back to this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to set this up. I have this screened on another computer. I'll come back to this. We'll do this tomorrow. Look into the screener because it's been helpful. But with the daily matches, there's plenty of time to react, is my point. Usually, even with the 4-hour charts, plenty of time to react. So, really quick, let's get into the markets. I think you folks know what I'm thinking on crypto. The larger markets, with all the craziness going on, I think we want to look at the model of the daily, the pattern that we have been focused on, this crab pattern. It's still pending. We did not test. There it is. First, look at the price action going into the zone and the larger levels that define the total range. Now, our 13,396 number, that's the top range of the zone. What is that number? That's the ABCD. Look at it this way. Your distance from A to B down here. All right, if we project that from the C point, just a simple ABCD, that puts you roughly around 14.4. And we talked about 14.4. Why 14.4 on the Nasdaq futures was so critical, but as it got down there, it blew right through. This ABCD is an extension where that first distance is extended by 1618. So this is a structural ABCD right off the top at 13.3. Just a reaction. This reaction would have been best served. I mean, would have been perfect had we hit the 1618 at 12,884. We didn't. What are we going to do? Is that it? Do we miss the low? How do we handle that? Well, we're still in a type 1 reaction in any case. Even if that's just a reaction off of that alternate ABCD. Maybe you go to a 382, then we come back down. That's the kind of behavior I want to see, and very soon. I want to be considering where we are in 30 days and how we get there over the next week to at least start that recovery. Even if it's a really weak bounce or a weak reaction, when we look at our amplified RSI band, we had a complex structure back in January that at least was the first stabilization. Your green line goes on and then finally stops right there. So this amplified RSI BAM did just complete. So we're early in that phase, and I want to see how it reacts over the next, obviously, 30 days, but next 3 to 5. There's the trigger. This is the bar that comes out of the zone. So you do have a few things on Nasdaq that have come back. but it's early. It has to do some consolidation. And the fact that we have fell shy, to me, I'm not satisfied by that. I still want to see a full test. Wait and see. I think if this is going to blast off from here, I mean, some people are saying that's it, it's going to blast off. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time. Much like crypto. Okay, we want to focus on those situations that have stabilized, that are clearer. We don't have to force it. We're not, are we catching a knife here or not? Certainly use the larger levels for trading intraday, but this still has some work to do. This is a little bit different than S&P. I think look at S&P, the SPY on the daily. We have retested this beautiful shark pattern. And I did want to say that amazingly, today's our 50th podcast. And I do want to talk a little bit about the 5-0 pattern because that's what has transpired here. And it's this 5-0, current 5-0, the shark and the 5-0 are going to dictate what happens in the S&P 500 going forward. So look at the reaction from last week. Okay, all the way down to the hop level at 411. I posted something on Twitter as it was hitting that low. Where's here? Here was it. Here was the SPY and ES futures right at the hop. I posted this. I said bear bounce. Where are we going? Yeah, here it is. So 24th. There you go. Right at the hop, folks. And under 4,100, this thing's toast. But this was a 5-0 that our 5-0, our targets on 5-0. I'll go to the 5-0 in a second. Here's the 5-0. Beautiful illustration from my book, but he puts it on his website. But I'll use it. Thank you, Mr. Rain. But there's the 5-0 illustration. Now, there's the 5-0 pattern on the SPY from a shark up to the 50 level and then dumps down. That's typical of a 5-0. And our first target off the 5-0 is the 886. So 422. Not to mention the terminal bar check back at 420. 113 at 419 is really going to be firm support. And plenty of time on this one as well. This one is still in a primary downtrend. Look, until that trend line gets violated, you have work to do, but you have clearly retested that type 2. The shark pattern on TradingView is not getting caught. I think it is. I'll go to TradingView in a second because I did see it there. Now, I want to focus on the progress because the number one thing we should all be looking at, folks, on Harmonic Pattern Collection is a breakout of amplified RSI above 50. That has to trigger by tomorrow. Literally could be here 24 hours from now. If it's not continuing higher, that's going to be a problem. We need to see that thing go up above the 50. If it comes back down, look, we just completed that green line again. Another bullish RSI BAM that has completed on the daily for the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. And you're now flexing. This has got to come up. Maybe do a little. No, not really. I don't even think it should do a dance here. I think it should be on a serial continuation, meaning higher highs, higher lows every day, up to 473, or that would be a run back to the all-time high. There's no room for interpretation or even time. You can say, all right, where are we going to be 30 days from now? Because that will also dictate pretty much the rest of the year, or at least from now into the October, November timeframe. This whole pattern on the SPY is telling you what's up. And you have to continue this week. Quick shout out, absolutely. Thank you to everybody that's been here joining us for these sessions. Again, we're here Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I crank it up around 11:30. Today was 11:45. I'm going to have to wrap it up in about 10 minutes and get back to my business, what I do during the days. And it really does depend on how crazy the mornings are for me that I can do this. So get over to harmonictrader.com, folks. Everything that we're doing is with the software. Where'd you go, Mr.? There you go, basic members. Here it is. harmonictrader.com, and get with the basic membership, the books. Today I want to talk about 5.0, and you can access information about the 5.0 on the basic members page, not only in the video but on the book in Harmonic Trader Volume 2. Take a look at those resources on the basic members page. The links for the books right here. Let's just open up Volume 2 and we'll look at the 5.0. Was a book that pattern I released in my Volume 2 book back in 2007. We have incorporated it in Harmonic Pattern Collection. And the details about the 5.0 I think are really important because it's slightly outside of the M and W formations, but has specific characters, specific metrics that, there's no variation from how this should be. And if we're looking at a 5.0, you're going to see distinct characteristics where not only the price action and the formation is fairly ideal in most cases. For example, this 0 to X leg is usually long extended. This XABC move usually fairly tight, followed by an extended BC leg. And then our D points, the combination of a couple different measurements. The 50 to 618 are slightly different reciprocal ABCD. So take a look at that, and all of that is available. It's in Chapter 3. That's in Volume 2. And look at that. Look at these structures a little bit differently in terms of how we really interpret the 1618. Because there's a lot of character in these 5.0 structures where you get this tight XAB configuration, and XAB is a tight consolidation zone, typically doesn't exceed a 1618, and then we get that extended leg, that C leg that runs into an 886 level. But it has a unique character, and that's what we saw here with the SPY on the shark pattern. Really tight XABCD. Extended 0, okay. This 0 to X leg extended, tight, XAB move, and then a throwdown 1618. It's just it's a really sharp drop, and that started there. You came back up for the 50%. Target 1 is that's your 50 level, and we use the 618 as well. This one, a lot of things up there. Perfect 5.0 behavior. And the fact that we have a shark preceding it, I think is pretty clear for now. We define these levels. 450. That would be our minimum retest topside level. And then we don't even have to go to the hop, folks. If we roll over and come back under 420 level, is going to be a problem. So I don't think this is out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. You've got things like crude oil. You've got things like gold absolutely exploding. Gold's the real deal. Let's jump over there, because despite the perceived economic changes that could come about because of the current situation, we are at defined harmonic levels. So we talked about this last week. We have a few things here. Big bat pattern. It hit target 2 at 1946 and was rejected. That's okay. Doesn't just because we hit that target doesn't mean that it's not a massive move just yet. And we have a back-to-back butterfly pattern, 1932. But this is, take a look at this butterfly, okay? Perfect confirmation on the top side for a reaction. It looked like it was going to fail it. Looked like this was going to blow through. But what's it do the next day? I mean, it was a swift rejection, where we do have HSI at 1925. So what do we want to look for? Measuring it. Just follow it. In the same way the last butterfly did, you go down to target 1 is not difficult at all. 1855, maybe a little bit lower. Okay, and then go. You would want that. With the butterfly pattern here, you have a reaction, come to target 1, set up, and then next leg higher. So be patient with the gold. I don't think it's the fact that we've spent 2 years up here above essentially 1700. It's been remarkable. There you go. You're trying to resolve that whole range and go to the top side. Full retest at the 886, which is basically 2050. Let me trace it out on the TradingView platform. Here's TradingView. Let's look at GC. And there you go, front month. A couple patterns up here on the daily actually, but all of it 1950 is all we need to know right now. The weekly, here we go. Weekly, we know that the larger type 2 bat started this. Not to mention, we're hitting the overbought on amplified RSI, but we haven't rejected off of that yet. If we turn down, sure. Okay, I just think this is a pause inside of a larger move where we take out the 886 and you essentially do this. Just trace, connect dots. Your B point's at a 618. C point 93. Your 786 minimum is still around 2000. 886 is around 2040, which I think the 2000 level makes a lot of sense. And as devastating as the last week has been, the price action really hasn't. You haven't taken out a prior bar low, and still you made a new high last week. Let's see if we make a new high in the next week or so. That would be above 1975. With the larger long term, this is it. This is the call for gold long term. It might take a year. It might take 18 months, but you're setting up for that 1618. And that 1618 minimum is 2350. I really feel comfortable with that. And it's going to take time. When gold goes up, BTC goes down, maybe. But it's been a challenging allocation cycle. You came into the end of the year, you had a lot of things developing that were changing the landscape, the market landscape from the prior few years, and then a geopolitical thing that kickstarts and really accelerates what we already talked about with gold, which is it had done the type 2 and 1720 right here at that XA level, as challenging of a washout shakeout as that was. We've been talking about that as major support That's the spot where we start to look for the bigger longs on the retest. Great stuff there. I'm really, it's in a nice position, and I would be, let it come in, let it pull back. I mean, you'll get another opportunity, 1860, 1875. Sure, I'll look at SLV. SLV, again, holding up like gold, just slow, molasses. But, and this is, I don't think these are gold, silver. Look, unless you're in a crazy, super speculative environment, which we are a little bit with the geopolitical concerns, most of the times this is going to not do much. So, the gold, I think the gold argument is more for if you do want safety in your overall portfolio, you want a portion that's kind of going with the longer term trend. That's probably the way to look at it. Silver is, we're looking at the monthly SLV, Silver Trust. Major support at 13, but check out what happened. We are firmly at target 1 of that bat pattern and have been for the last 8 months. What's this going to do? Would this come back for a type 2? Come all the way back to 13? That'd be tough. I don't think so. I'm not quite there. I'm the monthly time frame for silver, SLV. I think there are better markets to trade. Personally, I think gold, crude oil, probably better than silver. And you know what's cool with silver, actually, and I own a bar of silver, is buy a bar of silver instead of the stock. There's places to get it. I just think silver is going to be really slow until it shows us something. Like, give us this. This could be developing like a 5-0 pattern. Of course, we would prefer to see it completely retest the XA level, but you do have this. There's XABC with a shark. Not really a shark because we could go back to here and it could be a shark. But then that sets us up where off the low, we're at the 50 level. Now, right there, your 50 level. Oh, you're not even at the 50. You're at a 45. So your 50 level is at 19 bucks. I think there's better things. Not bad, but there's probably better vehicles. Let me jump over quickly. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, it's just non-stop, folks. We're going to have to get a pullback at some point. We just registered on the continuous futures last week. We did get an HSI signal. Let me bring in the indicator. Now, I have, disclaimer, I have a large percentage-wise in crude oil. So I'm wondering, should I be thinking about, instead of getting overexcited, maybe should I take some profits soon? I'm thinking that. On the weekly time frame, the indicators, pattern structures, not quite yet. Why? Because listen, we're after last week's signal, we had amplified on the weekly on continuous futures. It's overbought, but it's heading back up into that overbought zone. That's extremely strong. Not to mention, we likely will have to come back and retest at around 99.75. That's HSI. So we're early. Definitely early. I would look at, again, go to your daily time frame, because we are just in this rush up against the 1618. This bat pattern failed. Didn't materialize. Your daily time frame, look where HSI is. This is something it takes a little bit of time, folks, to really develop, I think, a familiarity with the HSI indicator and some confidence with it. But look, if we had a pattern, but HSI was nowhere to be found at the completion of that pattern, and look what it's doing, heading back up above 50, where I would think we have to come all the way back and register something on the daily. The whole time we're flashing a bearish pattern right in the zone in this area over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. HSI was showing us that this is still quite strong. Let's go to December. I think this is really looking specifically at the December all-time data. We're retesting contract highs basically on all contracts that are still traded, that have open interest on them. And I don't want to sleep on this either, because this is something that matters, where we're here at an all-time for the contract at the 886. This is December, so it's not going to be anywhere close to the spot price. The fact that it is actually trading at a tremendous discount off the futures is something you want to just note. When you get that kind of divergence, trading at 82 with the current future spot trading 99, 97. So it tells you the market doesn't think this thing's going to last. But I don't care. I want to see what it does at that 886. It came in super hot, super strong. Is it going to continue or not? Because a pullback here would be not a surprise. Something like that. If we break out and we just continue, I mean, this has been a heck of a move in the last 2 years. From 32, really was negative. Beautiful crab pattern down there. Now we're making a run at the prior all-time highs. What's going to go down? Is this going to blow out now, or are we going to have to do some work? Think of it, if this becomes, let's say this all-time data becomes an eventual crab pattern off of the high there, and then maybe that's a B point. Did we break it out? Yeah, see, we can't even assess that that this could be like a B point, where then you have a larger extension leg. That's why it's so critical today, tomorrow. If we get a reaction, we could see a pause here. I really think at a minimum we will go sideways and digest 100 for a little bit, at least on the spot. That's a great point, David. It does look like a giant shark on the contract data itself. That's why I think that all-time data can be telling. When you're looking at like an IPO, and we talked about this last week, some of the IPOs that have massive patterns in them now, that's relevant stuff. CL, I think it's a pause up here. I would be surprised to see this thing continue to rock, even though the stocks are doing quite well. Here's XLE, folks. There's a monthly, and I still think XLE, where the companies themselves, even they have not played catch up. The companies, we're showing a bat here, but the larger bat, there's a pending bat right there, but larger 886 is still around 73 on the stocks, and from a static resistance point, you're coming up to retest multi-year highs. If you're super strong, what we're going to see is a continued serial explosion, month over month, higher highs with dramatic expansion in the bars. We're seeing it January, February. I think it's an important close. Today looks like it's going to be fairly strong. March is going to tell us. I mean, I would expect March to do something like this. March come up, you're 70, do one more bar up to the 886 and then tell me what happens there. If it just blasts through that 73 level, then look, all-time high is the only thing left. Many, they're coming up on these imminent tests. A lot of them. Gold got rejected, crude oil hitting some levels where we could pause. So what does that say? Just keep an eye on it. There's not a long on these. Not any long for sure. I would be waiting for a pullback on that and just line it up. Listen, we have things in like right now in crypto that have finally given those long positions. Really quick, a couple of tech. Here's Square or Block. We mentioned this last week. This is more of the longer term swing style formations. Here we go. This is a deep crab off the top. I mean, absolutely crushed. It was under 100 last week. As low as 80, now traded 126. So here's Amazon. Someone's asking for Amazon. I think that's a great one. Check it out. Massive crab pattern. This is the kind of thing we want to see. But do we have confirmation on Amazon? Not quite yet. It's structurally, it's there for a type 2. And Amazon's got the first major daily pattern in I don't know how long, bullish side in a few years that would trigger, say that this is an important continuation point. 28.14 is the XA level of that crab pattern I would pay attention to. You're trading 30.49 at the moment. What's on the, look here on the numerous patterns on the 4-hour. You have a type 1 bat pattern on the 4-hour. Look at this. You just completed that. Quick blast 28.20 with HSI now. Keep an eye on this. If it gets above 3,100, Amazon could start to run, and just this being the last pattern. Otherwise, let's see. You're really in this tight zone. Amazon's really button up against that resistance at 30, just under 3,100. You're in like a 5-day consolidation zone. I think that's with this HSI that just triggered. Keep an eye on it. I'm not quite there yet to say that the type 1 is over. We really need to violate that trend line. And things can change quite quickly. We've seen that remarkable, let me remove all the lines, just remarkable volatility in the last few weeks, not to mention the fact that last week it finished unchanged. Okay, someone's asking for water. I don't know what this is. What's water? Didn't we look at that last week? Yeah, I don't listen. These kind of stocks, yeah, you have a daily. That's nice. These kind of spec stocks, big butterfly. Someone was mentioning that. All right, but it's just speculation. I don't know. I don't know this company. I know you've asked for it a few times here. So, and it's a great request because you have a butterfly pattern completed with the software. I appreciate that, and confirmation. But still probably early. XA level 78 cents. Hop at 60. I wouldn't be surprised to see that down there before something larger develops. Yeah, we looked at this one, ARC. And on Thursday we looked at this, and beautiful crab pattern. Great one. Now, as great of a company that ARC was, or as of a market this was trading, this thing wasn't this, what, 160 at the high. There's the weekly chart on ARC, folks. Beautiful crab pattern. The hop level is at 60. Yo, get Cassie Wood on the phone and tell her that looks like she's back in business. Target 1 up to 90.38. Let's keep our eyes on that. That's a great sign of what's to come. Amazon, ARK, some of those others. Hey, these are major patterns that weren't there 2 weeks ago. So, or at least reversing in this fashion a few weeks ago. A lot to look forward to. I would be focused on overnight into tomorrow. Let's see what Bitcoin does, because we are now accelerating above 41,000. And take a look at the from our post. Where's the Twitter? Let's put up Twitter. Look at, and this is, go to my Twitter feed and look at these two charts that we put up. The total crypto market cap. Now that this is confirmed, we are accelerating. That gives us a nice bias to the upside until target 1 is hit. Target 1 or the next HSI. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But the Bitcoin situation is better. No, that's not. That's the Ethereum situation. Courtesy Mitch Ray. Thank you, Mitch. But no, Bitcoin, we want to focus on Bitcoin. I continue to say that Bitcoin needs to get going to basically lift the entire market. And off the crab pattern, target 2 is 42,791. I think we're going to get there. And I mean in short order. Tonight or by tomorrow. We'll break it down after then, because the larger bat pattern that this was coming off of, the XA level, is 45,444. And are we in a full retest? No matter what, we're out of the hole. Great. 36,000 for all purposes has held. Target 1, target 2 zone up to 42,791 is valid for today and still going. Then look at your other big patterns like XRP, Solana, Luna exploding, and stay on them. I think tomorrow we'll get into more of the altcoins and update that situation. But hey, this is probably the best result of what happened or could have happened since last week. There you go. There's the 4-hour on Bitcoin. And I do think we come back. This is really nice construction. Some would say a head and shoulders here. I don't really care too much, other than for now, get this thing up, retesting like 45,000. It's for the best. So come on back tomorrow. Be here around 11:30, folks. Join me. If you have any questions, jump over to Harmonic Trader. Become a basic member and get all of your information. Get the software access. And get with the MetaTrader. Try MetaTrader 5. I think you'll like it. And just click on, it's this page here, all the instructions. MetaTrader 4, I think, is the most popular. MetaTrader 5 is this link here. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Go get them, as always. And great to see crypto back in action. Until then, take care. Have a good one.